how do you prepare for tomorrow's game? As had a bunch of people out lately with injuries, you guys maybe don't know who you're going to have, don't have.
Prepare as if they're going to play. The trends of a guy missing with illness or one game injury, and prepare as if Irving and Thompson and all those guys are going to be back. They have some systems as well, so prepare as if.
When emotions kind of run high like it did last game, can it kind of be a good thing as far as the toughness and unity you want to see from the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's our identity, no doubt. We've had some let-ups at the end of games in the last two, defensively, and then some offensive lulls. But we're going to continue to fight. And my point to the group was, we're losing close games that we shouldn't lose, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You learn from the situations. Obviously, you like to win them, but a lot of teams are getting blown out or let go of the rope when they get into some adversity, and we're right there fighting whether we win or lose. And so, look at how good we are and can be and want to be, and it's going to be those end game situations. So the fight is always there. I talk about it enough. I think that we laid that foundation last year. That's kind of who we are. Now you got to put the IQ and situational awareness with it now.
Sometimes there's bonding after facing adversity together. After what happened late in the last game, what have you seen from the team? Has there kind of been some bonding there?
I think it's pretty much the norm now, so we go about our business.
You talked about kind of needing somebody in those fourth quarters to shoulder the scoring load offensively. Do you think that there's someone on this team who needs to be that person, that go-to guy?
Well, I wouldn't say we're looking for someone specifically. Obviously, in the game situations, you like to know what you're going to get out of specific actions. But throughout the game, and great part about our team was the balance that we've had all year, where it's not just relying on one guy. And so we've seen different guys throughout the year lead us in scoring, have poor stretches, and then come through at the end. And so, yeah, you want to, everybody doesn't have a Kobe Bryant where you can just hand on the ball and get buckets at the end of the game. And so we do it as a group, and hot hand or whatever situational things we have matchup-wise that we like, we got to try to take advantage of those.
What games stand out as kind of your best case scenario with balanced scoring? I know you mentioned to me the Chicago Bulls game, but are there any other games you show them where you're like, this is what we could do when we have that balanced scoring?
I would say some of the recent ones have been really good. We played New Orleans twice, and then although there were lesser teams, Charlotte, and some of those games, it just felt like the ball is popping, the ball is moving, the assist numbers are extremely high, and obviously a big part of that is making shots. So those games stand out when you have the balance scoring across the board, and you're getting stops, getting them running, and obviously we're really good when we transition and do some of those things. So those games all stand out, but at the same time, big players make big plays, and guys have gone off for 38, 40-point games, and you kind of like those guys.
Did Dylan come out of Sunday feeling okay?
Who's that?
Dylan?
Yes.
And how's Tari?
Still day to day.
Did everybody practice today?
Dylan was not here. He has a first.
Coach, when you're talking about a go-to guy on a team, and you do have a lot of players that you can go to, but is there a case or scenario by being a coach you can make a go-to guy, especially if you see that they have that in them?
Yeah, I mean, we have obviously scorers that score in different ways on our team, and that's where I talk about our balance. Well, we're great in transition when we get stops. It's kind of equal opportunity as far as that. And at that point, you're just playing. But when the game slows down late and you have favorable matchups, we like to take advantage of those. And so, because we have a few guys that can really run pick and rolls well and score out of those, we look at that. Obviously, we got some isolation guys as well, but Alfred pretty much got advantage every night in the post that we feel good about. And so, it's a mix of those things. You want to know what you're going to get when you go to specific actions, and we got young guys that are growing into those roles. And so, it's going to take some lumps at times as you're going through it, but the more accustomed they get to being in those situations, I think the better off they will be in those situations down the line.
With some of those offensive struggles, do you feel like you're getting the shots you want in the fourth quarter, or do you want more ball movement and player movement?
A little bit of both. I think when you looked at the Miami lull, the 8-0 run that they had, from 92 to 85, they went on an 8-0 run there, and then we got the lead back at 94, 93. We got extremely good looks. And so other than a three or two that we took early in the shot clock, I think we got good post-ups. We got great kickouts off the double teams. And as always, sometimes when the shot goes down, it kind of stems the tide as far as the runs that they're on. But we got really good looks there. So, It's a little bit of both, but the more that we can get stops, it always kind of coincides with each other. When we're not getting stops, teams are scoring more, and then it slows the pace down. We obviously want to rely on our defense like we had to get to that point, but get out and run as much as we can and keep it somewhat equal opportunity, and we don't have to call sets as much.
How different is this team without Luka?
Very. I mean, I think it's a more balanced team where a lot of guys are getting a lot more touches. You saw Dinwiddie with the big game last night. Obviously, P.J. Washington had a big one, 19 in the quarter and 28 for the game. And, I think it's just more spread around. Obviously, when Kyrie's there, he's obviously a big-time scorer, but just a different style of play. Not saying it's any better or worse, but a little more balanced.
Do you have any non-basketball New Year's resolutions?
Diet always. Stop eating sugar.
What's your guilty snack?
Sugar.
Nothing in particular?
All sugar.
Thanks, guys.
Thank